What is going on, guys? My name is Damien. Welcome back. Bringing you my review for episode 17 of the Vampire Diaries season 6. It was a pretty solid episode all around, but before we get into the review and talk about this, I just need to apologize for there not being any reviews or clips for the last two episodes. Episode 15, which was really all about Sheriff Forbes and her funeral and all of that, and Caroline turning her humanity off. I actually was not aware that episode was going to air that week when it did, so I didn't actually see the episode until after because I just didn't even know there was an episode. So that was my fault. And then the episode last week, I really just was not feeling good. I had a fever and just was not up to it. I actually watched the first 30 minutes of the episode and I had planned to upload some scenes and so on, but I just couldn't continue, so I went to sleep early. So I do apologize for that. So let's get right into it. I'll have reviews for every episode leading up to the finale. I won't miss another episode barring a serious illness. So a lot to talk about with this episode. Now, if you had asked me a few weeks ago who I thought the endgame for the Vampire Diaries was, as far as being set in stone, highest chance of probability, I would tell you Stefan and Caroline and Damon and Elena. And I would say that just because the path the show was on, there really was no chance anything else could happen. Now, what I didn't expect to happen was Bonnie to introduce a cure again. With her introducing the cure, it completely puts things in an unknown state, because what that means is when Elena takes the cure, which if she inevitably does, I don't see who else would want it. Caroline has no desire for it. Why would Stefan take it if Caroline doesn't need it? It wouldn't really make sense. So Damon, I can't see him taking it. Elena would be the only character that would actually take it because it's always been dedicated to her, because she never really should have been a vampire in the first place. Now, that changes things a lot, and I'll tell you why. I am not sure Damon and Elena is going to survive. I just don't know if Damon and Elena really have that lasting power. And I say that not because I don't want to see them together. I said this for a long time, that I've wanted to see just what everyone else was so crazy about when it comes to Damon and Elena, but I still have yet to see them go on a date. I mean, it's ridiculous how every episode has some issue that prevents them from being together in a normal setting. Every time we see them together, it's just, you don't really get to see them in a normal state. It's always something that is, it just doesn't make much sense to me why it's been like this for so long. Because Stefan and Caroline, for example, even though I feel like they're just settling, their characters have pretty much accepted where everything is at, and they just kind of have to be together because the writers make it that way. And even though they're great, you still get to see them in scenes that feel more human. And I still really don't get to see this with Damon and Elena, because a lot of their scenes are just something physical or something that really doesn't have dialogue pertaining to the two of them specifically. It's always them questioning themselves, doubting the legitimacy of their relationship, or something more physical like them having sex, or whatever it may be, random makeout sessions, which is great, don't get me wrong. Nina Dobrev is attractive, no problem. If she's here and she wants to have a makeout session, I'm not gonna say no. I'm just saying, but at the end of the day, you've got to have some other scenes that really connect you with the characters, and I'm still waiting for that for Damon and Elena. I mean, I still want to see them go on a date. I still want to see them have these different types of scenes that I have yet to see. And people are saying that, oh my god, they're probably going to get married before the end of the show, or whatever. People are hoping for some kind of epic finale for Damon and Elena, and that's great if it actually makes sense, the journey that they go on leading up to that finale. And I'm just not seeing it. This is not me hating on Damon and Elena, guys. So if you're a Damon and Elena fan and you're watching this and you're upset right now, this is not my intent at all. This is just me stating things that I've seen. I'm trying to be, supportive of the Damon and Elena relationship, as this is the way the show is headed since season 4. We've had 3 seasons now of Damon and Elena, and as I've mentioned before, barring that magical summer that they had that no one got to see, I still have yet to see them in a regular setting where there's just nothing going on. And there's many times where that happens, but we just, like, why is it that Elena has asked Damon to go to dinner or whatever it was when they had that episode a while back when they were trying to see if they can go on a date again. Why is it that we haven't seen that? I don't understand, like, why they continue to neglect this relationship. Because everyone right now, Damon and Elena fans, and you guys know this is the truth, you're all happy right now because they're together. Now, what happens if Elena takes the cure and she wants to go back with Stefan, and then they wrap up the show with Stefan and Elena? You're going to be very, very annoyed. And the scenes with Damon and Bonnie have been more relatable as far as a real life, relationship. Not because of all the supernatural stuff involving them, but because of their scenes and the way their dialogue complements each other. And it's not to say that Damon and Elena's dialogue doesn't complement each other either, but it's the context of their dialogue, and it's the way that Damon and Elena's dialogue is set in one state. It just really doesn't change very often. I mean, yes, they're committed to each other, and yes, they're right now there's no doubt that they are together. There's nothing threatening their relationship or anything like that. But at the same time, it's just, where do we go from here? Why are we not seeing relationship scenes that really sell me on Damon and Elena, on the legitimacy of their normal epic relationship? I'm still waiting for this. Now, they still have time. It's not like they don't, because as far as the characters are concerned, they have already established this in that magical summer and maybe the off-screen stuff that none of the viewers actually get to see. But we need to see some of it. Stefan and Elena had a lot of those scenes that were great. They just felt really human. I'm still waiting for that. So that was a long rant on Damon and Elena, and I didn't even touch on Stefan and Caroline. But Stefan and Caroline, I know a lot of people were, I guess, pleased with the scenes they had tonight. They had over 7 minutes of scenes. They, of course, ended their scenes by, having sex and all of that, and I guess that's great. It just really doesn't matter, because those two characters really thrive on the fact that their humanity makes them who they are. So seeing them without their humanity doing what they're doing, it's fine, but at the end of the day, this is not really them. So that's all I need to say about that. I mean, I have no problem with Stefan and Caroline. Their scenes leading up to this have been great, but ultimately where they are now, is that really the way everyone wants Stefan and Caroline to have their first, intimate moment? Or their first real intimate moment? I don't really think so. I think people would have really liked something more respectable, something more relatable. This is just not what I would really envision. So, those are just my thoughts, guys. Obviously, the episode was big as far as Damon's mother is concerned. She's going to be at least one of the reasons he turns his humanity back on at some point. At least I hope. I don't know what they really have planned for her, but I really just can't see the reason. I left a comment on the Stefan and Caroline scene video that I posted, basically saying that Stefan and Elena fans can basically rejoice now that the cure has been factored back into the equation. And I also said that Damon and Bonnie are going to be together. I don't know, there's something about Damon and Bonnie that just always makes me wonder what if, and they really just need to get to that point where they're, at least let's explore the option. It doesn't necessarily mean that Damon and Elena are over, but let's just explore that option a little bit more. And the way I look at it, if Stefan and Elena were to get back together, and Damon and Bonnie were to get back together, and Caroline were to go to the originals, it would be pretty solid. I think all of the characters would have someone that never really had any resolution, because Stefan and Elena, in my opinion, without the sire bond, they would still be together. She picked Stefan before, and then she became a vampire, and the sire bond took effect, and then that was it. They never really went back to that storyline realistically and acknowledged, why are we even not together right now? It doesn't even make any sense, So it's clearly, there's still things that haven't been resolved there, but it's been a long time. So I'm over Stefan and Elena realistically now, but I still think there's a chance of them being together. And Damon and Bonnie are endgame in the books. They also have great chemistry on the show. There's really no reason not to at least attempt and try and see just where they go with this, because you really don't know until you actually put them together in that setting. And Caroline and Klaus always made it seem in his dialogue like there was no one else. He only wanted Caroline. So why not give them a chance to be something more for a little while? I don't know, just my thoughts as of where the show is at right now. The plot really doesn't, it's not that big, it's not that huge for me. The relationships are really what are the selling point. The storyline has just kind of been dragging along, and the reviews and the ratings for every episode usually are not that great. They've kind of stagnated. So hopefully they can wrap the show up. These are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think about it. I will do anything for a Damon and Elena dinner date, okay? That's all I'm saying. I just want to see them together without something getting involved and messing things up, because every season it's something different and they just don't have a chance, because season 4, Sire Bond, didn't count. Technicalities, they were just way too physical. I don't even validate that season as Damon and Elena at all. Season 5, Travelers got involved, and Elena started having visions with Stefan again. Ruins everything. Season 6, The Magical Summer, that we never got to see. I believe that's when it started off. Yes, that's correct. And then now we have a bunch of things getting involved again where they're together and there's nothing threatening the relationship, but we still don't get to see them together. Now, why is that? Why do we not get to see them on dates having actual relationship-y type scenes? That's all I'm saying. That's all I want, and I just haven't gotten that yet. So let me know what you guys think. This one was a little long, but I guess there was a lot to talk about, and Enzo again is irrelevant. But it's rough. It's rough when you're a guy like that. So his character is just there to service. I don't even know what. He's just there to exist. It's amazing when you just have no real true purpose on a show, just like Alaric and Joe and all these other random characters that just get their 5 minutes of screen time. It's quite sad, really. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Comment down below, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and do let me know if Damon and Elena is your relationship of choice. What scenes you'd like to see with them? You'd like to see them in next. I'll see you guys later. My name is Damien.